You are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago.
We got love that we'll never need to hide. Love will always rise.
That is a quote that I found by Alan Watts, and I just wanted to start off by saying that just to give you a little bit inspiration for this video. Of course, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my goals and my dreams for 2021. This is not necessarily to brag about what I'm doing or anything like that, but hopefully instead to give you a little bit of inspiration and show you that if I can do it, so can you. And honestly, to help keep me accountable. I want to refer back to this video maybe every quarter and just refresh my heart, refresh my mind, get myself back in focus, and make sure I'm on the right track. So starting off, my very first goal is to pray and read every day. You guys may or may not know this, but I am religious, I am Christian, and this is not me trying to brag that I'm gonna be praying and reading every day. It's nothing like that. I'm just simply sharing you what I have written down on my list. And I'm decent at praying, but to be honest, where I struggle is with reading my Bible every day. I don't always have the motivation, or I use the excuse, I don't have the time, which is exactly what I just said. It's an excuse, it's a lie. But I have decided to make time for it, clear my schedule, open myself up. And honestly, I have been praying lately that I fall in love with the word. I want to become addicted to the word of God. And that probably sounds so funny to some people, but if you think about it, I'm addicted to social media. Like, I get on my phone without even thinking about it, and I'm just scrolling before I even realize what I'm doing. And that's almost how I want to be with the word of God. If I ever have downtime or a down moment, I want to be so addicted that I'm just like, well, I have nothing else to do. I know exactly what I'm going to spend my time doing. And I grab the word of God, and I don't just skim through it aimlessly, but I want to actually study this year. I want to go into details and stories. I'm sure I may not always be perfect at this, but the whole point is just that I'm doing something. And yeah, I want to continue to move forward in my spiritual life and in my spiritual walk with God. My next one is not as serious, but it in some ways kind of ties together with the first one, and that is to sit outside every day for 5 minutes. And that probably sounds kind of strange, but I have found that sitting outside is so extremely grounding for me. Honestly, most days, whenever I know that I have a large to-do list, which really has been a lot recently, I have found that if I just take 5 minutes in the morning and sit outside with no phone, no distractions, it is extremely grounding. And I said that it kind of ties in with the first one, and that is because a lot of times it honestly becomes my prayer time. I find that whenever I'm sitting outside, it is almost hard to see everything that God has created, all of the beauty around me, and not acknowledge Him. Also, I have found that doing this has made a drastic difference in my overall day and in my overall mood. It's just really, like I said, grounds my mind, gets me ready for the day, and settles my heart a little bit, and I love it. That's one thing I hope to continue, honestly, throughout the rest of my life. Another goal that I have this year is to drink water consistently. So this one's kind of easy for me personally because I don't really have an issue with drinking anything else. Honestly, all I do drink is water already, but I want to drink water more than just at meal times. I want to be consistent with drinking water. I've just noticed that it makes a huge difference in my skin and just my overall feeling. If I'm feeling ick, I've noticed that I'm not drinking as much water. And yeah, I just want to be very consistent with that. This one kind of ties into the last one, and it is to be more intentional about the healthy foods that I'm taking in. So personally, I have a huge sweet tooth. I can genuinely eat candy and cake every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's kind of hard for me to just say, all right, no sugar, no candy. We're just gonna completely cut that out of our diet. I find that it's actually easier to, instead of thinking about all the things that I need to cut out of my diet, I instead shift my mindset and think about all of the things that I'm excited to add into it. So I really do enjoy healthy foods. So I want to be excited about adding those items into my diet instead of focusing all my energy on all the things that I need to take out of it. And I have found that whenever I do this, I end up getting so full off of all of the healthy food that I'm taking in that I don't want a huge slice of cake at the end of the night. You know, I may eat half of a tiny little sliver, but it drastically cuts down how much sugar I do intake. I have just found that this method personally works best for me. This is something that I learned from my all-time favorite podcast. It's called What We Said. It's really mostly an entertainment podcast, but they do share some inspirational and encouraging things from time to time. And this is one of those things that they shared, and it has just always stuck with me. I just always want to think about what I can add into my diet instead of constantly thinking about what I need to take out. So this next one is very cliche, but it's travel. I really want to travel more this year, and I know it's kind of iffy with COVID, but there are safe ways to do this. And I'm not even necessarily talking about traveling outside of the US. Now that would be awesome. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm honestly more even just talking about traveling within the US. This March will be mine and Cody's 4-year anniversary, which is mind-boggling to think about, honestly. And while we aren't necessarily talking about having kids, even within the next 2 years, I just know that the longer time goes on, the closer we are to having kids. And I just really want to be able to travel and experience more things with Cody by my side. So we're gonna try to do things in the states around us and even maybe fly out to some other states. But we wanna travel domestically within the US and kind of experience a little bit more. This next one, I think that you guys are probably going to be the most excited about, and that is to be on a consistent posting schedule with YouTube. I always want to be 1 week ahead. And honestly, this is something that I need. Like, it's to the point I don't even just want it anymore. I need it. I'm finding myself extremely overwhelmed with YouTube, and not because I don't enjoy it, not because I hate it, but because there's no schedule in my life right now. Everything is just chaotic. I kind of have to squeeze and fit things in where I can and sort of try and prioritize them as best as I can. If you guys don't know this already, I am actually a waitress. So with my job, I never know what my next work week schedule is going to look like until the following weekend. So it's really hard for me to plan my weeks out in advance because I don't ever know what my schedule is going to be like. So like I said, I've just been trying to fit things in where I can, and it's been very overwhelming and very difficult for me. Thankfully, Cody has really convinced me and pushed me to get on a more consistent work schedule. So I did speak to my manager and I got it approved already, and I am going to only start working on Thursday nights and Saturday mornings. And this is going to help me tremendously. This way I am going to know exactly what my weeks are going to look like from now on. I know I'm going to work those 2 days, those 2 times. I can always pick up more shifts if I need to, and this will allow me to know when I'm going to be able to film, know when I'm going to be able to edit, and hopefully even get my YouTube schedule a week in advance. So that way I'm not filming and editing for that week's video. I'm actually doing it for the following week. Does that make sense? And lastly, what? And lastly, my last, what? I can't speak today, okay? Oh wait, I genuinely don't know what to say. Lastly, my last goal is... And the last goal that I have for 2021 has to do with Instagram. So it sounds kind of funny and shallow, I guess, but I feel like this will really help me with YouTube and just kind of helping you guys to feel more connected to me, and honestly help me to stay more connected with you guys. By the end of 2021, I want to be on a regular posting schedule, posting 2 to 3 times a week. I also would like to have consistently 400 to 500 likes per image by the end of 2021. I know it sounds shallow, but for me, I'm trying to turn this into like a business mindset instead of just like fun and games, you know, which it is fun and games, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to make this more serious, you know, and I want to put my best foot forward. So I plan on doing this by being more intentional on actually taking pictures and even planning shoot days. So that way I have a nice stock of photos just ready to be posted. And the goal would be to actually schedule out about 2 weeks of posts in advance. So they actually have apps where you can schedule a post to be posted, and that's kind of the approach that I'm wanting to take. I lied. I have one more, and this one kind of ties into everything, and that is to just have fun and to stay true to myself. So I heard this quote and it says, "Does it really resonate with your soul, or is it just popular?" And it got me thinking. I'm like, half the stuff I do, wear, think, say, does it really resonate with me, or am I just following a trend? So this year I kind of want to implement that into every part of my life, and I just want to stay true to myself and have fun while doing it. There's nothing more refreshing than just being around somebody. Sorry, I keep like twisting and turning. I'm in a twisty turny chair. I can't help it. It's fun. Anyways, there's nothing more refreshing than being around someone who is just 100% themselves and is just having a good time while doing it. And that's just where I want to be. I want to be absolutely 100% confident in who I am and do things that resonate with my soul. So that is it for all my 2021 goals and dreams. I hope you guys maybe found some inspiration in some of them. I really don't think that any of my goals or dreams are out of reach. I really tried to focus on creating dreams that were reachable and accessible to me, and that's very encouraging. I have found that in the past, whenever I make goals that just seem unrealistic or unreachable, I end up just quitting. But whenever I make a reachable goal for me personally, I find myself working much harder to reach and accomplish that goal. So hopefully you guys kind of do the same. Now, I'm not saying to just like dream small and not have big goals or dreams, but I am saying to, you know, be realistic and work hard. And guess what? You always have the potential to surpass any of your goals. And if you do, then awesome, perfect. But don't kick yourself in the butt if you only accomplish half of what you thought you would. Because at the end of the day, you're still halfway closer than you were at the beginning. So definitely keep that in mind. I hope you guys find some inspiration in this video. Hopefully you have your own 2020 goals. 2020? Oh my gosh, have I been saying 2020 this whole time? I hope not. 2021, okay? I want to know, what are some of your 2021 goals? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm very curious. Maybe I can find some inspiration to add to my list of goals from you guys. Thanks again so much for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, definitely consider subscribing to stick around and see next week's video as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope you guys have a wonderful 2021. I will see you next Thursday. Bye.
Together we are free. Just be.
Maybe I should also stop doing this in 2021. Am I right? Why can I not just not do this? Why do I have to do this literally at all times?